I could have all of the money and go to the world, but it's things that I just can't afford. I could have Bitcoin and stocks and like enthusiast, but it's things that I cannot afford. I cannot linger on things that I know I can change. If I can, then I'm changing them all. Why you not chasing your dreams every day when you know you got problems that's barely being solved? I could have all of the money and gold in the world, but it's things that I cannot afford. I could have rich vibes and money in my G, but it's things that I cannot afford. Talking about wasting my time on a dream that ain't mine, and I'm sorry I can't be involved. If I can wake up and grind every morning, I'm taking my chance and I'm taking up calls.
Welcome to the Third Eye. It's your boy, Indigo Saint. Welcome back to the Third Eye. Yeah, we're gonna be doing an offline on here for this. I think this would be the first time. Could be wrong, but we're gonna be doing an offline today. And our guest is someone who's very close to the channel and someone who inspired this channel. So yeah, we're gonna get to him in a bit. But what's up? What's happening? It's your boy Indigo Saint. Again, welcome back to the Third Eye. I appreciate you. If it's your first time being here, I encourage you, I implore you, I beseech you to find the love in your heart, to hit that subscribe button and to like this video already, because I know you're gonna love the content that we're gonna be talking about and just the different things that we're gonna be talking about today. Yeah, a couple of updates and different things that have been happening with me and my life personally and my music career. We're gonna talk about that in a bit, but just that we get over it and just that we don't mull over it for too long. I'm gonna be traveling outside of the country for the very first time to actually go perform, my music and to network, with other industry professionals from around Africa, which is insane to think about, and it's been a long time coming. So really excited about that. I'll make sure to give you all the updates as I travel. I'm traveling to Rwanda, Kigali, Rwanda, one of the fastest developing African countries, African cities, actually cities in Africa, cleanest city in Africa. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a lot of updates for y'all as I'm going, as I'm preparing for the trip, as I'm there, and also when I come back, so there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of growth in a few weeks. But yeah, this is the offline. I'm going to introduce my guest right now. He's undefeated. He's the undisputed world heavyweight crypto champion of the world. In some circles, he is known simply by one letter. It's the letter before K. But we know him as Underdog. Underdog Research, what's poppin', brother? How are you doing today?
What's going on, Saint, man? How you
What's
doing?
poppin'? Brother, blessed and highly favored always, man. How are you doing?
Oh, man, I'm great, man. I rock with you with that last offline. I did a few, I guess that was within the last 24 hours. We did an offline.
Yeah.
I don't think it's come out yet, though.
Nah, not yet. I'm really looking forward. I'm really excited for people to check that out. We spoke about a lot of things. Yeah, we spoke about a lot of things. And there's so many gems. There's so many gems, so many things that you shared. When you spoke, that I think people really need to latch onto, and people really need to invest a lot more than just their money. People need to invest their time, and listen to what you have to say, brother, because you were dropping gems. You're
I
dropping
appreciate
gems.
it. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you for being here to come and drop some more gems for my people. You know what I'm saying? I know my people, your people, our people. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm really excited to have you here, bro. A lot of things that I think, I always value your input and your insights, and there are a couple of things that I've been looking at from different projects. Well, one project in particular that seemed good at the time, but also kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? It's one of those. I know in the past you've had experiences with projects Maybe not so much so like this, but I mean, I know in the past you've had experience with some projects that weren't exactly what they seemed to be at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, that's a challenge with when we say the word projects. It kind of says that project is something experimental, it's not complete yet. And so I found a project when it doesn't go the way that I had envisioned it goes by the white paper.
Yeah.
It's e- it's either the people over the project or the technology has bugs and it has to be refined.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a shame because like I always feel like fundamentally every project is great, you know. On the white paper, every project is absolutely amazing, you know. And as a musician and as someone who's been making music for a very long time now, I've seen that the people, the people that I'm called to serve, I'm taking a line from your book here, but the people that like I resonate with the most and the people who I do a lot of like my research for, like the musicians, are the ones who get taken advantage of all the time. You know, it's just the way that it is in the music industry. You know, it's always the musician, who gets the lick. You know, um, and yeah, and I was really excited about this project that I found. I did a video about this, like in my previous videos, actually on this project. It's called Tune FM. You know, and I was more excited about what the project does more so than I was about the token and about the token and the tokenomics in themselves, right?
Wait, Tune
So for
FM?
me,
Is that what you said?
uh,
Tune?
yeah, Tune FM,
Like
yeah,
TUNE FM.
TUNE, yeah, .fm,
What's the
right?
ticker? What's the ticker
Um,
symbol for that?
it's Jam Token,
Jam, JAM. Okay, got you. I
yeah,
didn't want to make sure.
yeah, yeah. So, I was really, again, like when I'm looking at a project, I'm looking at the fundamentals. I'm looking at like, okay, what problem are you solving? And are you solving a problem that's unique? Are you solving a problem? Did you just create a new problem for us and then you solved it? Or is it oh, this was a problem that's always been there and you've come up with a different way to do it, and in a way in which, you're not um offering babies up for sacrifice. You get what I mean? And yeah, you're doing it in a fair way. You're doing it in a good way. You're doing it whilst you're also at the same time caring about people. That's really important for me. Like how you treat people is important. You know what I mean? Anywhere, wherever you are, whether you work at McDonald's, whether you um work at Apple, whether you're the founder of Swift Coin, whatever, like the way you treat people is important, and it's a reflection not just on you, but on your entire business. That's how I feel about a project. So the tokenomics came secondary for me. I don't know if you maybe let me pull up this page from their Twitter page. This is the Tune FM Twitter page, and I think could be worth someone's while to check out. Um, so yeah, so this is Tune FM, right? And what got me about this project is they said, and I quote, "When the music gets played, the artists get paid," right? And being being a rapper myself, if you're gonna rhyme, you have my attention. You know what I mean? Like you absolutely 100% have my attention. But like more so like when, as I was going through like, what this project was about and what they'd done, and I saw an article from Rolling Stone, right? And I see this article from Rolling Stone and I went and I checked it out, but ultimately what it was, you guys are free to like to check out the link from the Twitter page. Um but like seeing coverage from Rolling Stone, an established magazine, an established organization in the music industry. Everyone wants to be on Rolling Stone, you know, and them being spoken about as an NFT project, again, being spoken about in 2024, right? These are all like positive signs to me. You know what I mean? These are all pluses. This is good news to me. You know what I mean? And fundamentally, I'm like, oh, okay, it seems like they're moving in the right way. They're getting the right media, they're getting the right media attention. they um you know, fundamentally what it is that they're looking at solving seems, you know, it seemed impossible, but then they're doing it. And Underdog, the alternate way of doing it, of the way that artists actually get paid is when people go and stream our music, I don't get paid for several months, you know. So several months being maybe 2 or 3 months, you know. Um, So you go through my Spotify catalog, whatever, or my Apple Music. The DSPs, these are the service providers, right?
What's that? What is that
Uh,
saying? DSPs. What's that
so
mean?
DSP is they're distributors, they're service providers, and these are the companies that allow artists like myself to put our music up on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Tidal, wherever else it is that you listen to your music.
So they're like the gatekeepers for someone who not in the music industry. The DSPs are the gatekeepers who allow you to put your music on multiple platforms for a
Yeah.
profit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because what's happening is that for me, I have to pay a subscription yearly for me to put my music up. And then I also need to pay the subscription every year for them to not take my music off, right? So I can't upload my music directly onto Spotify, or directly onto Apple Music, So ultimately, yes. So this is what they are. They are the gatekeepers, and these DSPs, these companies, they also go and they collect the money from Spotify, from Apple Music, from Tidal, from Deezer, from wherever else. You know what I mean? And after several months, then I have to kind of uh for lack of use of a better phrase, I guess, like, apply for me to get my money. Like, I have to notify them. They're like, oh yeah, I'd like to withdraw my earnings from my streaming, right? I'm sure most of us by now have heard how small streaming money is. You know, it's very, like, last I checked, I think per stream on Spotify, we're getting paid 0.003 dollars per stream. You know what I mean? So just trying to make, I think, 1 million streams gets you about $3,000. And depending on where you're from, you could live off that. If you're from um if you're from countries much like the country that I'm from, that's a lot of money, right? But then again, there aren't that many people who have access to your music in that way. You know what I mean? But so it's that. So the DSPs and the whole Spotify system, there's like, it's been problematic, and that's why, like, the music NFT scene really popped. I don't know whether you remember, like, the NFTs that we made in 2021. Confirm,
That
Underdog.
rocket, that rocket,
That
yeah,
rocket.
man, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. That was dope. That was dope.
you know and that was like a way in which, like, for I for the first time with my music, like, for the first time online with my music, like, we went TTC, right? We went direct to consumer. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we did, like, because the technology was facilitating us being able to do this through NFTs, and that's what the NFTs were doing, right? So when I heard about Tune FM, brother, like, I was excited because, again, when the music gets played, the artist gets paid. Like, so as soon as you play my music, I get money direct. Like, as soon as you play it, like, not after a week. No, like, you played right now, I get my money right now. That sounded really good to me, and again, like, the things that they were promising on their social media. I went onto their Instagram. Actually, one of my fans sent me a reel from their Instagram, and they were promising to pay. They were saying they pay 100 times more. Yeah, I think that's what they say. They say they pay 100x more than what Spotify does. You know, um, 100x sounds insane. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I mean, it's still beneath the dollar amount, but then it's a lot better. It seemed a lot better than it seemed a lot better than what than what Spotify currently is doing, than what Apple Music is doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Underdog. I don't know if you want to chime in from just like what I've shared so far.
Yeah, I'm seeing what you pulled up here about the on the screen. I'm seeing what you put up here, and and what it sounds like. It sounds phenomenal. From this, what they're advertising, Tune FM, aka Jam Token. The artists get paid, and it says how it works. The music streaming platform uses Jam tokens as a currency to pay artists for every second of a song streaming, and artists can earn 10 to 100 times more on Tune FM than other streamings like Spotify and Apple. And so fans get involved and you can help support. And it says artists can also mint NFTs for exclusive content. So yeah, like listening to that, seeing the advertising 10 to 100 times more. Yeah, that's amazing. Especially, in my past, I dealt with managing musicians when I was in my 20s, and to be at a place where you can get revenue from your songs, especially on a platform like the internet that pays you 10 to 100 times more, it seems like a no-brainer. But sometimes when it's too good to be true, what's the truth of that? I mean, I hear what it's saying, but did you get that experience? Did you get Jam tokens and was able to make that much money? All right. I think Saint, you might be on mute just in case.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. And from the bits that I caught, what you said, like, 10 to 100 times, it does sound a little too good to be true, you know. And my thing is always, I don't want to be biased. I don't want emotional bias. I'm obviously very excited about a project, very excited about, every project that I look into, for the potential that it has. And more so a project that has to do with something that's actually my passion, like the music. So it's like, ooh, I'm like, oh, I really, really I really want this to work out. And there's another thing that I'm just going to pull up the Twitter page again. Um, and this is something that like really got my attention. I think this pushed me over the edge, right? Um, and I want to show you this. This is, if you just scroll all the way to the top to um right to the top to where their header is, right? Um um just give me 1 second. Yeah, so I'm just gonna click on Tune FM, and I want to show you who else is followed by this project. And this is what really got me. Right there, it says, followed by Indigo Saint, that's me, and Animoca Brands.
Oh, snap. Anaboca brands?
Right,
Okay.
right, right. And so I'm thinking big network effect, right? Has to be, has to be. Because who else is in the Animoca network? You know what I mean? Like, who else is in the Animoca network? And what is their affiliation with this project? And how deep does it go? Right? And why are they looking at this project? What's there that perhaps that I might be missing, that everyone else might be missing, right? I mean, there's 45, how many people is that? 45,700 people, who are following this project, who kind of have an idea as to like what might be going on, or maybe are just like really speculating, right? But the thing that really struck me and that stuck with me was the Animoca brand. you know um I know you love to talk about this, and I know if I don't ask you to, I'm gonna regret it. Um Underdog, please, just for those who don't know about network effects, brother, do you want to shed a bit of light on that?
Oh man, come on, Saint. Don't get me started on network effects because we've talked about it a little bit, but the 5,000 foot overview of network effects, I like to use very easy to understand thought processes. If you look at a network, it's a series of interconnected items, whether that be roadways, whether that be you can imagine an ant colony underneath the dirt and it springs out. A network is just a series of tributaries from a source. And network effects is applying that natural aspect to technology and for profit. So what you're saying is, I'm the Underdog Researcher. I have 7,000 people who subscribe to my channel. I know Indigo Saint, who is the third eye. None of the people who on Indigo Saint's channel would know me if it wasn't for him being a part of that network. So if he has 1,500 people that he's exposed to who come to listen to his music, by us collaborating, the people in his network know about me and benefit from that. And the people in the Underdog network know about him and benefit from that. So if you was to push those two things together, we broaden the network. Now applying that to technology, instead of looking at networks as without them being valuable, think of Google, think of Verizon Wireless, think of Apple, think of Android. If all the Apple products are part of that network, but if Apple collaborates with Verizon, oh boy, how powerful and profitable would that network be? So one network has a cause and effect to grow the overall value of a network through their associations. And so you can see this in crypto. Animoca Brands has $5 billion a year. If they have a network of millions of people and they get with, let's say they get with Apple, you take the Web3 network who they have built, you put with Apple's network, overall, it raises all of the projects within that network in value due to the network. That's the best way I can explain it.
Bro, I could. We need to put that down somewhere. You know what I mean? Like we need a I need to make a graphic with that definition because
Not a graphic.
I don't think yeah, you know, because I don't think anyone could say it better, you know. I don't think anyone could say it better. And like also just like really understanding like the impact of that, of like what you said, that like being a part of this network means that like the growth of one means the growth of another, you know, means that one going up means the rest going up as well, you know.
We say it
And
all the
that's
time, right?
like that's
We say it all the time. When Binance, when Coinbase, it's a network. We
yeah,
want the people who connected to Binance to buy the token. So every time we say
yeah.
when Binance, we want that money from all those millions of people who get on Binance.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely what it is, you know. That's absolutely what it is. And it's like that's that's the thing that really got me excited about Tune FM. Like I was like, yes, finally, I found a project before Underdog. I sat with that victory. I was like, I found something, you know, and I had my little Lord of the Rings moment, you know what I mean? And Tune FM was my precious, you know, Lord of the Rings fans and that analogy. But yeah, I was really excited about this project. And you know, I went as far as I had to try it out. So I went as far as putting my music on there. I was like, okay, I have some songs. Let me just put up a song on there and let me see how it performs. And it's been a month today since I put it up, right? And even though the underlying technology and everything that's going on with the project and everything that they say and claim to be doing is great, right? And all the interviews that I've watched on YouTube with the founder, um, speaking on these projects and like everything that's within the white paper, right? Fundamentally, it's always going to go back, and it's always going to go back to how you treat people, right? And my thing is, it's not even that I was treated badly. I went and I got into the Telegram group, and I was having technical difficulties with with their website, right? First it was with their website, and then it was with their app, right? And I went and I downloaded the app, and I'm not gonna apologize to anyone who's a Tune FM supporter and someone you know who's really bullish on crypto, because at the end of the day, what this company claims to be doing and the people whom they claim to be serving are people like me, because I'm the musician. you know I'm the musician. Me putting my music on there is helping your project grow, right? So the least that I could get is support. So when I'm trying to download the application from the Play Store, and I get it, but then now I can't log in from the app, right? That's already kind of a red flag for me, because if I want my people to support me, they have to support me through this app. I have to get them. I need to prime my people and teach and show them, give them the easiest way for them to support me. The reason why people stream my music on Spotify is because it's easy. It's not that they don't care about me. It's not that like they're like, oh yeah, we think you deserve 0.04 cents per stream. No, it's the easiest way for them to consume my music, right? And because they're not just listening to me, they're also listening to Kendrick, and they're listening to Drake, and they're listening to J. Cole. And so when Indigo drops, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I guess I can stop listening to Kendrick for a little bit, and now I'm gonna listen to Indigo Saint. Because it's easy. It's the easiest way. It's the easiest way for them to access my music.
So
And
this is I pulled up. You pulled up this. Is that in the background? Is that your
yeah,
page on Tune FM Jam?
yeah, yeah.
So what? Why is
Of
it?
which
What's up with the flickering?
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
And I feel like this is something that's it's something that's really avoidable. I mean, you're on Rolling Stone. You know what I mean? You're on Rolling Stone. You're part of the Animoca Brands family, right? And this is like really this shouldn't be a thing that happens, right?
Oh, that's horrible. That's
And
horrible.
like this is like one of the issues that I had. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because again, remember that like what was said, when the music gets played, the artist gets paid. So this is directly affecting my stream of income, right? Because again, the content that I'm putting up on there is my content, right? It's it's my digital property that I am trusting you with on your website, you know. And at the very least, people should be able to access it properly,
Yeah,
you know.
just looking at this though, I mean, it's one thing that goes into those two categories. Either I found problems with either leadership in projects or bugs. This is a significant bug, and even though if they're prompting 10 to 100 times more than Spotify with this presentation like this is horrible for the person who's going to. No one's going to give this a second look, not because of the music, because of the user interface.
True, true. It's like it's the equivalent of it's similar to, as when you're approaching a woman, right?
Well, oh snap! Come
When
on
you
now.
you know and
Wait a
you're
minute.
Riz,
How deep you gonna go
and
in
you're
this
giving
offline,
people some
Saint?
game. Yeah, and give some people some game. You know what I mean? It's like when you're approaching a woman, your first impression is the lasting one. That's the one when you fight, she's gonna refer to, oh, remember when you used to buy me flowers and like you used to call me your little pumpkin, or I don't know, whatever she likes being called, right? But like that, your first impression, that's the lasting impression, right? That's Riz, like the way you approach women, the way you convince her that you are man enough for her, you know what I'm saying, that she should be yours, you know what I mean. I feel like technological companies, like, they it's no different. I'm uh I have influence, right? You might see my message on Telegram as I'm asking like for help with a technical issue, right? And you're not replying to me, right? But then shilling your project, shilling your token, right? Goes a very long way, you know. I mean, it affects me, you know. It affects me in a way in which, like, okay, well, I've invested time in this and I really want to make this work, but I'm trying to get my fan base and my audience to come and listen to my music on here and to get people excited about your project as well. Because them being excited about your project means they get excited about my music as well. You know, so it's a win-win all around. But then if you neglect whom you think is the little guy knows people, you know, the little guy has an audience. You know what I mean?
So
And it's that, and it's like that's you know, that's a first impression.
so I gotta ask you because you're not saying the thing. What's your analysis of Jam Token for those who tuned in who saw Jam Token first time and they're listening to you? I'm not sure. Are you saying that you think this is a technology that is good, that's going to be profitable, and you should get in early despite this user interface and not working out well? Or are you saying that it is not good, or is it not that simple? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I feel it's a little diluted. Like I really want to say, oh, this is a great project. I mean, fundamentally, you know, fundamentally the things that they say they do and the technology that's behind them. Like, you know, they're on the Hedera hashgraph tech. And that's what initially allows them to make what they call micropayments, right? And now speaking just purely from technology, like the idea of micropayments is insane. It's so quick, right? Because micropayments, like think about it, like they're saying as the music plays, the artist gets paid. So when you play my song, for every second that you're listening to it, money is moving from your wallet into mine. That's quick. I don't know how quick Visa is, but that I feel like I might be wrong about this, but that seems faster than Visa. That's really quick. And so I kind of feel like the technology that's behind them is good, you know. But then essentially and ultimately, which is like really important, the leadership that's there, you know, like you're not taking care of an issue like such as your website, which is what it is that you do. You know what I mean? Like that's what you do. Like it's you're in NASCAR. You're a NASCAR driver, but you're I mean, you know, you don't you're not paying attention to your car. You know, you're not paying attention to your tires. You're not fueling your car. Like the thing that's supposed to get you around the track. You know, you're not taking care of that. And I feel like that's really neglectful. And my viewpoint and my feeling with it is that, like, if you can neglect something like that, like how are you gonna treat people's investment?
I was looking at what you're showing here about Jam Token, and you said something huge though. All right, so you was talking about Hedera. That's major. That's major. Hedera.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm pulling this up. Let me see what that's talking about here from CoinDesk if I can see it. I saw something that you pulled up. So this was September 12th of 2024. This says Tune FM Music streaming project on Hedera blockchain gets 50 million capital commitment. The news comes just 8 months after Tune FM shared it had raised 20 million in funding round. Web3 music platform Tune FM Wednesday that has secured a 50 million capital commitment from Global Emerging Markets GAM Group. The news comes 8 months after the Tune FM. So, all right. So I hear what you're saying. All right. The user interface looks like is not good at all. Did you get paid from it? That's the second question. Did you actually get paid?
No. And which is, I guess, which is like the second bit that I also wanted, another bit that I also wanted to talk about, right, is that the difference. Okay, I know I know Spotify says every year there's a couple million artists, I think they said, who go without getting any streams at all on their platforms, right? And that's sad, right? But then it also makes sense. You know, there's thousands of songs being uploaded onto Spotify every hour, right? So that kind of makes sense, you know. Um, how I felt about this is I felt, okay, well, if I put my music up on this platform, there aren't that many artists, first of all. So whoever it is who's using this like my music should be discoverable like within this network. There isn't that much music on there, you know. And yeah, and nothing was played. You know, I didn't make the effort of I didn't do
No
the
jam
um,
tokens.
yeah, no jam tokens, you know. So I was like, I'm not going to take this and put it on my social media, right? When there are um fundamentally underlying issues with it, right? Like your app isn't working, you know, your app isn't working. I've tried to get support on it. I haven't been able to get support on it. I'm not gonna ask my fans to go and create accounts on your platform if there isn't a way in which they'll be able to, you know, to operate properly, you know, to move the way in which they would like to, you know what I mean? Because that's my brand as well on the line, you know what I mean? Um, so that was that. So it was like, I don't know. And then I started looking at, um, I started looking at like some of their posts on Instagram, and I can tell when there's a lot of like paid posts because the comments are all very similar, you know, which also to me is a red flag. It's like your people, you know, people who are like really excited about the tech, right? The people who would be the most excited about the tech probably would be artists like myself. Those would be the people who would be flooding the comment section, etc., or sharing this a lot. But like when I see a post on Instagram and it has a couple thousand likes, but then like 5 comments, I know you paid for that post. You know, I know you paid for that post. And I mean, you know, yeah, all the best with like, you know, I guess for visibility, but then like the engagement for me, you know, the engagement for me is what was lacking, you know.
I was
Yeah.
looking at this comment that someone said exactly the same thing that you just said. This post is on Coin Market Cap, and it says Jam looks like a lot of fake Schiller's accounts on here, all posting the same post, copying each other. Was viewed
Yeah.
about 313 times, with someone snapping back and saying, making a rude comment about them not having enough money to buy. But is that your experience? I mean, this person here said the same thing. Is that your experience? You believe that they're just
Yeah.
paid shillers on the jam promoting it?
Yeah, yeah, and it feels pretty much the same way on and it feels the same way on Telegram. I'm,
Mm.
you know, like, I've said what I've said, and I'm open to having discussions about their project and how it's going and why certain things are in a certain way. And I'm open to like having dialogue, you know, in which we can find parity if there is any parity to be found, right? um but then at the end of the day, like my thing is, if you're gonna say you do something, then do the thing. You know what I mean? Like, y- if I say I am Indigo Saint the rapper, best believe I am going to rap. I am until I am blue in the face. You know what I mean? Like, you are underdog researcher. That's what you do. It's the research, you know. But then if you're gonna come out and you're gonna say something like every time the music plays, the artist gets paid, and your website isn't working, and your application isn't working, you know, the trust is lost. You know, the trust is lost.
So that's a big deal. I mean, you're very calm and collect. I wouldn't be, because the reality is you get one shot at this. And when I say that is from a consumer's point of view, what you told me about Jam, it doesn't seem like it will behoove an artist who wants to make money, because if a customer comes from another platform, such as Spotify, they better be competitive. You cannot bring someone from a very usable, well-known application like Spotify, whether or not that works good for the artist, that's a whole nother conversation. Then send them to this website where your music is flickering, the artists aren't getting paid, and then they say, well, you can make 10 to 100 times more. No, you really can't, because the user interface is a obstacle. So for that alone, I think you're right. If a product is going to be competitive in the marketplace to house and stream music, it better be a better product than what's already on the market. Otherwise, no one is going to come over in an area where crypto is a niche, getting tokens is hard. Then you have to overcome the fact that the website isn't operationally sound, flickering. You can't get the music. Why would I go through all that headache when I can just go to Spotify and click your music? It doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't make sense for you if you're trying to get paid. So I'm thinking you're articulately saying that you would not at this point put your music on there to make revenue if you had to choose between this and Spotify. Would that be a correct assessment?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Until until those issues are solved, and it's that, like, the what you said, like the headache, you know, people are so fickle. Like like my fans will quickly turn on me if, I mean, maybe not use the word turn on. Let me not say turn on me, but um there's a lot already going on in their lives, right? There's plenty going on in their lives, and there's a lot of content for them to consume elsewhere, right? So they can't listen to an Indigo Saint song. They're gonna listen to somebody else's song. You know what I mean? And I have to retain them. I have to do my best. Like, these are my people. This is how I eat. This is how I survive. This is my life. You know what I mean? This is my business. These are my music. My music is my burgers. And if I was McDonald's, do you know what I mean? Like, it's important. You know what I mean? And I absolutely cannot have a situation in which someone says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll deliver your burgers to all of your customers quicker than anybody else can." And then you show up with the bicycle and your bicycle's got no wheel. Oh my God. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like, nah, do the thing that you say you do and do it well. You know what I mean? And then, but if you're not able to do it, openly say, you know what I'm saying? Be honest. Like, yo, we're having challenges with such and such an issue. And then I'll look at it and I'm like, yeah, okay, you guys are human, life happens, you know. From time to time, tech things have problems. Cool. I'll understand. But, you know, the Rolling Stone article is still your pinned tweet, you know?
So let me ask you this. And then I know we're approaching the 45-minute mark, so I know you're probably going to wrap it up. But let me ask you this one final question. If you think about technology, despite the bugs, despite the fact that in practical application the artist isn't being paid, you're seeing it from your perspective because you're using the site. But they're advertising to individuals who are probably not musicians, who probably won't upload music, who probably won't do that. They just going after the ideology, and they're investing their funds for the ideology. With that being said, do you think that people will invest in Jam, Tune FM during this crypto market while it's low? And do you believe, secondly, that the price will increase potentially just out of pure no one doing the research, and people like the narrative of it doing what it says it would do. You got Rolling Stone magazine. Basically, is there an opportunity still that this could be something that could be profitable, even though in practical application is not doing what it purports to do?
Yeah, I think, I think as is, I don't think so. As is, I don't think so. Um, I know there are people who I know there are people who are shilling the project, and they're shilling it very hard, you know. And again, like the people that they are attracting, as you said, is not it's not the musician. They're looking at like the retail investor. That's who like they're really trying to get. And you know, they're using the artists who've already put their music up. Like, oh, look at this artist music that we have here, and people are, oh, this is gonna help artists globally, and it's not. It's not. Your take doesn't work, So I think like right now, it's not something that I would encourage anyone to invest in. Again, not financial advice, but um, I'm not gonna be putting my tokens into getting any jam. Um, that's just how I feel about it. I know maybe perhaps a part of it is my bias as to me actually having used the app and the application and being on the platform, but I feel like maybe because I have been, and this is my experience, and I'm saying it, um, I'm speaking as truthfully as I can. You know me, underdog. I could never tell a lie. You know, and these are facts. This is what happened. So right now, this is not something that I would invest in. Um, do I think it's something worth having, looking at over time and just kind of like keeping tabs on? Yeah, because the Animoca thing is still there, and perhaps maybe I don't know. I really want them to do well, because them doing well means a better ecosystem for musicians and artists. So I really want them to be successful. You know, I really want them to win. Um, I do not want them to win under the guise of they're doing something that they're not currently. You know, um, that's I wasn't raised that way. Don't lie to people. Don't lie to people. Don't mislead people. It's not only their hard earned money. It's also, it takes time to make music. It's a lot of investment, you know. And we trust so much with like our information, our data, our digital property. you know I trusted that. I was like, I guess maybe let me just try it out with this one song, because there was a trust element in there. So right now Indigo says, "Eh, don't invest in this right now." That's how I feel about it. Yeah,
Well, let it
that's how I
let
feel
it be
about it.
said, let it be written, my friend. That's
Yeah.
well, I mean, hey, you told the truth, and that's what these offlines for, to educate people on different topics. Saint, we're at the 50-minute mark. It's about time for to close out, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Spoke about a lot. And again, Underdog, thanks for having this conversation with me, and for
Yeah,
being here with me and like bouncing these ideas, yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you having me, friend. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, and to each and every one of you who's been listening, and watching from wherever you are in the world, I appreciate you so much. And yeah, and again, like as I said earlier in the episode, I am 100% open to having conversation and dialogue, as long as it is progressive. And by progressive, and this is in regards to Tune FM and Jam Token. And by progressive, I mean like maybe I'm seeing things in a different way, and maybe you can help me see things the way that you see them. But like in being progressive, I believe that it has to be respectful in nature. So if you didn't like what I said, feel free to tell me that you didn't like what I said, but also let's have dialogue. Let's have a conversation in which like I can say what I have to say and you can say what you have to say. And then we can see if we agree to disagree, or if, maybe make you see what I'm seeing, or maybe you make me see what you're seeing, you know. But until then, Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Check out my music on Spotify until we find a better platform for us to get more coins from it. But still, either way, check out my music on Spotify. I got a brand new song that's coming up this Friday. Yeah, it's that intro. You know what I'm saying? It's that song on the intro. It's for all of my people who know that at the end of the day, you could have all of the money and gold in the world and all of the Bitcoin and all of the crypto and all of the tokens. But at the end of the day, they're just simply things that you cannot afford. And those are things like following your passions, chasing your dreams, and living the life that you have always meant to live. And if you believe in it, just type it out, believe in it in the comments. I absolutely love you. Cherish you. I wish you all the best. Have an amazing, amazing week. It's been your boy, Indigo Saint. Thank you for tuning in to The Third Eye.
I could have all of the money and go to the world, but it's things that I just can't afford. I could have Bitcoin and stocks and like enthusiast, but it's things that I cannot afford. I cannot linger on things that I know I can change. If I can, then I'm changing them all. Why you not chasing your dreams every day when you know you got problems that's barely being solved? I could have all of the money and gold in the world, but it's things that I cannot afford. I could have rich vibes and money in my G, but it's things that I cannot afford. Talking about wasting my time on a dream that ain't mine, and I'm sorry I can't be involved. If I can wake up and grind every morning, I'm taking my chances, I'm not taking up calls.